Yo, what's cracking, YouTube? Abroad with the Burrells is back, and today we're talking about Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Welcome to Abroad with the Burrells, a channel for travelers by travelers. My name is Coleman.
I'm Jamie.
And today we want to talk about our fantastic, amazing, dope, awesome, off the chain, off the hook trip to Switzerland.
Insert adjective.
Insert adjective.
So when we went to Switzerland, we went to 3 different places. We went to Lucerne. From Lucerne, we took a day trip to Bern, and then we also took a day trip up to the Swiss Alps.
So we headquartered in Lucerne, and we absolutely love staying there. We highly recommend it. It's a great jumping off point to the other cities and other locations that you may want to see in Switzerland. Just to talk about a few things that you'll see there, it is very quaint and quiet. You're staying right on Lake Lucerne, which runs right through the middle of the town.
We stayed at Hotel Seeberg.
And we liked it a lot. Yeah, very clean, very nice, very friendly staff, and we had a beautiful view of the lake from where we were staying. Yeah.
Then we took a day trip to Bern, which is more busy, definitely more city-like, and just a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's very unique in the way that it's built, so we had a really wonderful time in Bern as well.
And then we also took a day trip up to the Swiss Alps, but we'll get a little more into that, the specifics of that in just a few minutes.
Perfect. So, must-dos.
In Lucerne.
In Lucerne.
In the heart of downtown, you'll see the famous Chapel Bridge. It's gorgeous, fresh flowers on it. They're so bright and beautiful. You have to walk across it for sure, and it's just perfect for pictures.
And it's a covered bridge as well, and it's really one of the iconic sites in the city.
Yeah.
And if you actually walk through and just take some time to look up, you'll notice that there are a lot of paintings that are up in the rafters of the bridge, and those things have been there for centuries and centuries, and they kind of tell the story of the city of Lucerne, some of the legends that have passed kind of throughout. Another great thing to do if you're in the city of Lucerne, you're right there on Lake Lucerne. You have the opportunity to take the lake cruise, which is worth it. It's very relaxing, very nice. But you also have access to a lot of the other villages that are surrounding the city of Lucerne. So, if you're so inclined and you have the time, disembark and visit some of the other villages that are around.
And on the boat, we had Swiss hot chocolate, which was really great because it was colder there as in October. But you have to have Swiss chocolate in Switzerland.
You really do. And the great thing is, if you're staying in Lucerne, they have tons of chocolatiers right there in town. So we had a lot of different options when we were choosing chocolate. And seriously, don't go to Switzerland and not have Swiss chocolate. I mean, what's the matter with you?
Right.
So yes, make sure you enjoy some wonderful chocolate while you're there.
Speaking of food, the grilled cheese sandwich.
If you're in Switzerland, specifically in Lucerne, they may do it elsewhere, but we only saw it in Lucerne. You have to have a grilled cheese sandwich. Now, if you're like us and you're from the United States, you say, I'm very familiar with grilled cheese sandwiches. I know all about it. I'm here to tell you, you do not.
No.
You have not seen...
No clue.
Right, a grilled cheese sandwich like they do there. Real chop. This guy came out with a whole wheel of cheese.
Like a block.
Like a block of cheese. He then put it to heat. As it melted, he, chopped it and guided this melted cheese onto this piece of bread.
Now that's what you call a grilled cheese sandwich.
It was delightful.
It doesn't get any better.
It doesn't get any more authentic than that.
So another must-do in Lucerne is the Lion Monument.
Yes.
It's really, really cool. You walk into this little, almost like garden-looking area.
Yeah, like a grotto.
Yeah. And there's this giant lion carved out of the stone. You want to tell the history?
Yeah, well, it's a monument that commemorates the Swiss soldiers that died in 1792 during the French Revolution. And that monument pays tribute to the sacrifice that they made.
Yeah, but it's really, really cool to see. So definitely check that out.
Also, I think we got lucky. We hadn't planned it and it wasn't on the itinerary. This was a hidden gem. Yeah, one of the hidden gems, when we were in Lucerne, we were there right in the middle of a cheese festival.
Yes,
it was amazing.
I'm sure they have them throughout the year, throughout all of Switzerland, but we didn't know about it. We happened to like stumble upon it, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, tons of booths set up all throughout the city, almost like an open air marketplace, and they were just giving out samples of different types of cheeses for free.
Right.
You know, different colors and different smells and different flavors. It was great.
Yeah.
But the best part of it,
the best part,
we were walking, we turned the corner, and there's a bunch of people huddled around something. And we're like, what's going on over there? So we get closer, there's a big black cauldron, okay? And in this cauldron is just a boiling pot of hot melted cheese, huge. You would put a piece of bread on the end, and you literally could dip in there and just eat fresh fondue.
Right.
So we're talking, it was just like a public fondue tasting extravaganza.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
So if you're going to Switzerland, you might want to Google if there are festivals that time of year, because we happened to stumble upon it, but knowing what I know now, I'd definitely try to hit one of those up.
Yeah. Lastly, you know, Lucerne is just, it's a chill town, and if you guys know anything about us, if you follow our channel, follow Bra with the Burrells, we like chill towns. We're very low-key people. We're from Cali. We're laid back. It's just our spirit.
Yeah.
And one of the best things about Lucerne is literally walking along the lakefront. There's tons of restaurants and cafes and little bars, and you can stop and drink and eat.
Mr. Pickwick Pub, Husband Daycare Center. Is he getting under your feet? Need time to yourself? Want to go shopping? Leave him with us. You only pay for his beer.
Yeah.
And just chill, enjoy the swans as they swim by. If you like chilling, then that's it. You know,
Yeah.
we're adventurous as well, but we love to chill.
It was really, really relaxing, and but that's where we had our day trips. You know, so like Coleman said, we were headquartered in Lucerne, but then we took a day trip to Bern, and we went by train, which they have a really, really great train system there. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but definitely the way to go. But we got to Bern and just stepped off the train, and you know, in awe. It was
Instantly loved it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, we are city people. We love the laid back.
We're from the Bay.
We love the laid back towns as well, but the city hits home for us, you know. So
we're like, we like to chill and we like to get up and down. Huh?
We're complicated.
I guess so. The interesting thing about Bern, the city, for lack of a better word, mascot, I don't think that adequately describes it, but the city animal is the bear. So you'll see flags everywhere notifying the Bern bear, and they actually have like brown bears. If you walk towards down the road to the end of the city, they have like an enclosure where there's literal bears there. So that's kind of cool to go and see. The wonderful thing about Bern is just it's a very well-preserved medieval city.
Yeah.
They've just done a great job of keeping it. And one of our favorite parts of it, like always, we just enjoy walking the streets and putting our thumb on the pulse of the city.
All right, so we've grabbed some local homemade bratwursts, and we're just sitting on the curb. Check it out. Right here on the streets of Bern. We're just gonna grab some lunch right here on the curb, Swiss style.
They have great cheese pretzels. That's one of the things we really loved about Switzerland. They have these wonderful cheese pretzels that you can buy right on the street. All right, so the little one wanted to play. Brooklyn's awake. I guess she wanted to be in the video too. You want to talk about Switzerland? You weren't even thought of then. But anyway, another great thing about Bern is they have great shopping there. Great places to go shop. Higher end, but they have it. So if you're into that, you know, indulge. Also, they have the big clock tower there. I believe it's called Zeitglocke.
Yeah.
My German is, I don't know any German, by the way. But yeah, Zeitglocke.
So it's a famous clock tower.
Zeitglocke.
It's a famous.
Why is it when people do speak German, they always do?
They sound angry.
They do like Hitler.
Yeah.
And just in case you're curious, it's just a medieval clock tower that, you know, operates on wheels and pulleys and mechanisms, and it
Every hour
it puts on this great display, which
little characters come out.
Right. Listen, at the time it was a modern marvel. Obviously now, you know, but it's something to see that's been there for a long time, and it stood the test of time. And then one of the most rewarding things in Bern is there's a path that you can take, sort of a little trail, and it leads to the top of a mountain. It's a clearing, and from there you get stunning views
stunning.
of the city. Stunning. I mean, it's just picturesque like a fairy tale.
I was gonna say picturesque.
Were you?
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to walk all the way to the end of the city and climb the hill, there's another way to get great views of the city, and that's through the Bern Minster Cathedral, also known as the Cathedral of Bern.
Yeah, and it's a really pretty cathedral. We have pictures of it from the outside, but you can also go up to the top
Yep.
and take pictures of the city. He was all scared I was gonna drop my phone.
Yeah, because
but
you were like leaning over, taking pictures.
I had to get the pictures.
I was nervous as heck. I thought you were gonna drop that thing.
We took another day trip from Lucerne to the Swiss Alps. We left pretty early. We thought we were giving ourselves sufficient time. I mean, it was like 5 or 6 in the morning when we
Right.
left. And you have to take the train to a town called Interlaken. So we get to Interlaken and we think like we're almost there. This is awesome. We have plenty of time
Yeah.
left in the day.
You're just getting started.
Yeah, we get there and we're kind of dropped at this depot.
Right.
Where you have to buy, I think it was a bus ticket.
Yeah.
Which then takes you to,
Lauterbrunnen,
yes.
which is like the valley floor. And then
Yes.
from there, you take gondolas. But if you want to go to the very top, there are actually 2 peaks to choose from.
Yeah.
You can either go to the top of Schildhorn, which is the famous peak that was in the James Bond movie.
There's
Or
there's a restaurant on the
Yeah,
top.
there's a rotating restaurant at the top.
Which was in the James Bond movie.
Yes. Or, yeah. Or you can go all the way up to Jungfrau,
Yeah. So
which I believe means young woman.
I think so.
I can't remember.
So we took the gondola up to the top.
Schildhorn.
Yeah, the top of Schildhorn. Had lunch.
Gorgeous, by the way.
Yes.
Just going up.
Yes.
Just going through the mountains, the way you gradually go from green, beautiful greenery, all the way to the top where it's just snow peaks all the way around.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We ate lunch up there. The lunch, I mean, I wouldn't say it was fabulous. But
Cafeteria
yeah.
style lunch.
Yeah, and it's made for tourists.
Right.
So you can imagine.
After we finished lunch, we took the gondola from the top of the Schildhorn and it dropped us back down to the major village of Muren.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do have the option to take the gondola all the way down to Lauterbrunnen, but we don't recommend that. We strongly recommend, this is a major must do,
Yes.
that you walk from Muren to the various villages. It is just, it's beauty beyond like what you can even picture.
Yes.
You know, you just have the time to stop and take it all in and absorb what you're seeing.
Incredible.
You know, these villages are like on the edge of these mountainsides.
Right.
And it's just
Right on the
incredible.
edge.
I mean, they're so cute, you know, and you can actually stay there.
Yes.
We met people, tourists, they were actually staying in the village for a couple of nights. So we had made a day trip of it, but had we known how long it takes to get up there and everything, we would probably
Stayed there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time we got back up to Lucerne at the end of the day, we were gassed.
Oh, it was like midnight or something.
Yeah.
You know, we're walking through these little villages and there's no cars, okay? So the road signs that actually tell how far it is to the next village are measured in minutes it will take you to walk
Yes.
there. Not like miles by car.
Right.
Minutes to walk there. So as you're walking, there's just cows, you know, their bells are ringing. I mean, there's so much beauty, and if you take the gondola from the top back down, you're missing so much.
Absolutely. And you can even bike to the villages if you want. But the thing about doing it on the way down is you're walking downhill as you're passing all these villages as opposed to hiking up. It's just an easier route.
Good point, yeah.
You know, another really cool thing we had to mention that we saw, there's stores there that work on the honor system.
Everybody check this out. This is the Honesty Shop, Europe's first unattended self-service village shop. It says Honesty Box inside on the right. Basically, you walk in to this, looks what is a Swiss cottage storefront, and you get what you want, and you pay and leave a donation or whatever it costs on the box on the inside. Pretty awesome.
We walk in, there's no one in the store. And we're like, what's going on here? All this stuff is just open, and there's a sign and a box, and it says, take what you need, just leave the money in the box. And sure enough, you
Yep.
see people coming in and out, locals and tourists alike, and they would buy whatever they wanted, and they would just drop the money in the box and go about their merry ways. That
it
was
was
pretty
so cool to see that.
Yeah.
Especially living in a world now where it's like you gotta
Right.
be worried about everyone.
Things to be aware of.
Yeah.
First things first, and the first thing that stands out when you get to Switzerland, it's expensive as heck.
Super expensive.
It's ridiculous. We would stop in for just a simple lunch at a restaurant and order a couple of sandwiches and some water, and the bill would be like $85 is what it would compute to. It was just insane. Everything everywhere was astronomically expensive. We've been throughout many countries in Europe, and we're used to the euro being high, and we've been up to Scandinavia where the kronas are really high. But Switzerland so far takes the cake. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for that when you go there.
Yes. So speaking of restaurants, something we were really, really disappointed in was their customer service.
I'm gonna just keep it a whole stack. The customer service in Switzerland was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Absolutely terrible. There's no sense of welcoming. There's no one that makes you feel at home or as if they're trying to give you a positive experience. It's very curt. It's walking up and what do you want? No smile. No one's heard of service with a smile over there. It was insane.
No smiles. And it was almost
It's almost like they begrudge having to take your order.
Yeah.
They look at you with this look of just irritation and just get this food and get out of here.
And they would rarely come and check on us. It was kind of like we'd have to wave them down every time we needed anything.
And then when you wave them down, it's just like this undercurrent of attitude. I've never seen anything like it.
It was
ever.
really bad.
Most places that we go, customer service is fantastic and people are friendly and their service with a smile. In Switzerland, they didn't know anything about that. At least, and it'd be one thing to say, well, hey, it was one or two restaurants, but it was literally darn near every single place that we stopped at. It was horrible. Just be prepared for that and be aware of that. And if you don't like that, if you get offended by that, that's just too bad. This is a review and we're just keeping it a stack.
Yeah,
so that's what it is.
I mean, I would even say it was really a cultural thing because we met other people there that were really friendly, but overall the restaurant customer service was not good.
Terrible. 1 out of 10.
0.5 out of 10.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back when babies calm down. And we're back. All right.
So some other things to be aware of that are more specific to the Swiss Alps experience. It takes a lot longer to get up there than you might think.
Right.
So like I said, getting from the train station to Interlaken to Lauterbrunnen, and then you have to take the gondolas up to the top of the Swiss Alps.
And they are packed.
Yes.
And the lines are long.
The gondolas, for one, they jam you in there like sardines.
Yes.
Okay? They're like, pushing you. Half your body's in the doorway still. And they're like, okay, we're going. And you kind of have to you get real comfy with your neighbors. With that, the lines getting on the gondolas are really, really long.
They're absurd. Just disrespectful.
There were times when we're standing in line and we see like 3 or 4 gondolas pass before we even get on one because you're just waiting.
Right.
Which we didn't anticipate at all.
We had no idea. And also be aware too, it's not like you hop on one gondola and go all the way to the top of the Schildhorn.
Yeah.
They stop at stations, and so make sure you make the right exchanges as you're going from gondola to get to the top.
Yes, because not all of them go to the top.
Right.
So you kind of have to get on these different paths.
Right.
And we made the mistake where we ended up going back downhill when we were trying to get to the top.
Let's not talk about that.
That's another story. But yeah, definitely leave early. I'm talking by the time, and again, we were staying in Lucerne, so depending on where you're staying, it might be different timing wise, but from leaving Lucerne to getting to the top of the Schildhorn, I mean, we left Lucerne at like 5 or 6 in the morning and got up there around 1 p.m.
Right.
And like I said, just from Interlaken to where you start to get on the gondolas is about a 3-hour journey.
Another great thing about Switzerland we want to talk about is how wonderful the public transportation is. It's phenomenal.
Yes.
It's incredible. You do not need to rent a car in Switzerland at all.
No.
You can take public transportation trains. They zip you back and forth through the country. They're very efficient.
Sorry, not to mention too, like the view as you're on the train.
Yeah.
It's like the countryside.
Oh,
is beautiful.
just going through the countryside, it's amazing. I remember a couple times just being really tired and it's like, I'm not gonna go to sleep. I just want to see what we're looking at here, you know. And when we went to the train station, we went into the customer service office, and they were great. They literally planned out our entire trip. They asked us what our itinerary was, what we wanted to see, and they planned it out for us. Extremely friendly, very thorough. So kudos to public transportation. The train system is phenomenal. Also, the bus system was incredible. Very punctual, very clean, very efficient. The buses, they hit when they say they're going to hit.
Yeah, don't think that, oh, I have a minute or two. No.
If they say 12:27, they mean 12:27 on the dot.
Yeah.
You know, we made the mistake of thinking it would be kind of like here, where, you know, it's 12:27-ish.
Yeah.
And I remember one time we came down from the hotel like 12:28, and we literally were watching the back of the bus, you know, drive away.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Also, Switzerland is a smaller country, so you have really easy access to France and Germany. We actually rented a car one day and took the car into France,
Right.
the Alsace region.
Right.
And we just had such an amazing day, and
Yeah.
it actually, you know, sparked this desire in us to go back. And so we actually, when we were in France later that year, we ended up staying in the Alsace region
Right.
for a few days because we just like, we have to go back here.
Yeah, and if you're interested in learning about Alsace and you want to see the review on that, we'll definitely leave the link in the description for you.
Yeah. So all in all, we had a great trip
Phenomenal.
to Switzerland. I
Yeah.
mean, it was beautiful.
Yes.
We just some of the most breathtaking like views we've ever
Right.
had like seen in our lives. Definitely recommend going. It's one of the most beautiful places we've ever been.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, for sure. So that's gonna do it for our review of Switzerland. As always, we hope we were able to provide some information that will help you to avoid some pitfalls or further enjoy your trip. If you're interested in seeing our actual trip to Switzerland, you can click on the link. If you like the information that we were able to provide you today, we ask that you would leave a like or possibly subscribe. Totally up to you.
or both.
Or both. That'd be great as well. Make sure whatever you do in your travels, have a great time. And remember, as we always say, traveling is not just about the destination, but of course it's also about who you share it with.
Aw.
Okay.
So get out there, make it happen.
And remember to have fun, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
See you next time.
Peace out.
Say bye-bye, brother.